Brits are flocking to Europe to start a new life in the sun.
This is a dream of mine for the last 30 years, and I'm now living it.
As thousands chase new lives filled with sun, sea and spectacular scenery.
Certainly don't get this view in England.
But this is no holiday.
I've been given 3 weeks to get this all done.
The list of jobs is endless.
Because these expats are here to work.
There's only 24 hours in a day.
Me and my bright ideas.
We're following the latest wave of Brits as they set up everything from hotels and dive schools in Spain
Today's been a real reminder of why we've come here.
to glamp sites and restaurants in France.
Had to download how to lay a table.
But do they have what it takes?
Getting a bottle of champagne at this rate.
Or will their dreams float away?
We have no more money. We've got about 1,000 left, that's it.
And can the latest expats make their new life in the sun pay?
We did pretty good, didn't we?
It's pretty special.
Today, 2 Brits take over a Spanish B&B.
It's just like running your own home, except for it's bigger.
Can they keep up the high standards?
Start with 9.3, but we want to see 9.4, 5 or 6.
A couple of diving enthusiasts throw everything into their dream business.
There isn't an endless pot of savings. We don't get the customers. That's it for us, really.
And 2 expats juggle winemaking in France
There are certain things the Vineyard will dictate, and you just have to stop.
with setting up a new holiday cottage complex.
They're asking if they can arrive tomorrow, a day earlier. You're having a laugh.
The Onon Valley, Alicante Province, Spain. A landscape of mountain ranges and open valleys full of olive groves, vineyards and very few people.
Hot today.
Starting to sting me eyes.
But now the population is about to grow by 2. Brits Jane DeLonga and Nigel Springay.
We wanted to live in a warm climate, didn't we? Away from the grey and the rain.
We're already getting fed up with the sun. I mean, it's bloody hot out here.
Teacher Jane and truck driver Nigel have just swapped their home in the Wirral for a 5-bed B&B in this peaceful paradise.
We've had no experience running a B&B.
No.
We've had family to stay a few times, you know. And
Yeah, well,
they haven't complained.
Well,
And if they have, we've never asked them back.
It's
problem.
just like running your own home, except for it's bigger.
Yeah.
The B&B sits just outside the village of Barbaroja and welcomes tourists wanting to escape the hustle and bustle of towns like Benidorm.
Running a B&B, you're meant to be a bit domesticated, and Nigel's not the best at being domesticated.
No, I'm just about house trained, aren't I? So,
Instead of doing 1 bedroom, we're going to have our bedroom and 5 others, so it's going to be 6 bedrooms and 12 guests. You're going to need just a bit of training, love. I'll get you a little L.
yeah, right, OK.
They bought the established retreat for just over the price of their 3-bed semi.
Everything okay, guys? Yeah.
It's currently run by Dutch couple Anita and Dirk,
Typical Spanish. Good taste.
who pride themselves on going the extra mile.
Breakfast is the most important thing to start. Every mum knows.
After almost 3 years of running their guest house, Anita and Dirk are moving back to the Netherlands.
Thank you very much for that.
And Nigel and Jane have a lot to live up to.
Adios. Bye.
Nigel and Jane start with 9.3, but we want to see 9.4, 5 or 6 maybe. But you're on yours.
"1,500 miles away from the Onon Valley, in Wallasey, the time has come for Jane and Nigel to pack up their old lives.
I didn't finish work till Friday. Had yesterday, and now this morning is Sunday, so yeah, we've had a very busy day.
Everything they own has to be loaded into 1 truck.
Well done, Emma, you're loose. Here we go. 2 hands. Can you do that one?
And the whole family have come to help.
We filled this 3 times now, and we keep emptying it and thinking that's going to be it. But he's just getting more and more.
This is just our personal furniture.
I do think Jane thinks the house is bigger than it actually is, and she thinks the truck is bigger.
Nigel has worked in the haulage business for almost 40 years and is hoping this will be his last ever pickup.
I'm totally confident in Nigel's ability to pack a truck. I believe in him.
How do people manage if you're moving out with just one van?
If they don't fit on, they don't fit on. Louisa and Laura will have to give them a home.
You're going to stand it up? Yeah.
On the last throws now.
With almost everything they own ready to head south, Nigel and Jane's empty house has left room for reflection.
It's very emotional. It is very emotional, but I know we're only 2 hours away, it's not far. It's 2 hours on a plane. We're going to the sunshine and to a healthier lifestyle and a fabulous place for the whole family to come, and we can have family holidays there, we can have family Christmases there, it'd be lovely. And I'm really, really excited.
Full steam ahead. No last minute regrets, no jitters, no nothing. It's right for us.
Done so well. I've made it to 1:45 and not quite.
But now their Spanish dream is in the balance. They've received a call from their solicitors.
There's been a slight problem with the sale of this house. They require a couple of certificates that we haven't, or they're saying isn't correct. So I'm staying, I think, now till tomorrow, just in case there's a problem, and then we'll go from there.
Nigel will have to stay in the UK until the issue is resolved, meaning Jane will have to start her new life in Spain alone. The Gironde department of southwest France. It's an area that produces some of the world's best wine. Many bottles are made by winemakers with generations of experience. Others with hardly any, like English couple Rob Brimfield and Steve McMahon, who moved to Pousignon near Saint-Emilion 2 years ago.
Bonjour et bienvenue en France.
The former estate agents managed to turn a failing vineyard into a thriving business.
One day you might be drinking that.
There's lots of people, this would be an unreachable dream for them, and we're living it.
We've renovated a house for us to live in. We've managed to produce 2 years of wine, and we've not yet seen 2 years out, so it's been full on.
And if that wasn't enough of a challenge, the couple have also taken on a project to renovate a farmhouse into 4 self-catering holiday cottages, or gîtes.
It's a lovely property hidden by decades of neglect, so it'd be nice to give it the facelift it deserves, won't it?
Yes.
It's late March. Over the last 6 months, they've done everything from knocking walls down to building bathrooms. And now their 4 self-catering properties are almost finished.
We've had quite a busy winter. Demolition had more or less started, I suppose, at the end of last year, and been busy rebuilding them, and we're getting close to completion.
So we have a self-contained living, dining, kitchen area on the ground floor here, and upstairs we have a bedroom with shower room.
And we hope we've got it right. The guests will soon tell us, I'm sure.
Yeah.
There are now just 2 weeks until the first guests arrive, and there are just a few finishing touches missing.
I hate ladders.
Like 4 staircases.
Stairs aren't quite ready, are they?
No.
A few headaches. Managed to get the size of the opening wrong. So instead of being 84 centimetres, they're 79 centimetres. So now all the stairs have to be adapted. So that's our latest nightmare, isn't it, really? But we're getting there.
And to add to the pressure, the couple still need to tend to their 13 acres of vines.
We gently bend them over and then just put a little wire tie to each side to hold them in place. And that's where the fruit will be produced, and it will be on the lower section from that wire for this year's grapes.
And today, despite the impending deadline of their first guests, tying the vines must take priority.
It's really difficult to actually kind of make your time work for both the vineyard and for the renovation. There are certain things the vineyard will dictate, and you just have to stop.
The next month is a critical stage in the vine growing process. And with work in the gîtes still to do, there aren't enough hours in the day.
There's so much needs doing with the renovation, and there are jobs that need the two of us around the vineyard, and there's the jobs that need the two of us at the gîtes. And I'm out here and Steve's in there, and it's kind of, you just have to make it work somehow.
It's the following week, and their first guests arrive in 2 days. Rob is working into the night to finish the staircases, but Steve has a bombshell.
We just had an email, Rob.
Uh-huh. Who from?
The clients that's arriving tomorrow.
You mean the client's arriving on Thursday?
Thursday. They're asking if they can arrive tomorrow, a day earlier.
You're having a laugh. What have you said?
I said they can arrive early as long as it's a late check-in.
Yeah.
We'll have to work through the night because we are all about pleasing the guest. But it's really all done. It's just little finishing touches.
He says as I'm still varnishing the stairs.
First impressions are vital for Rob and Steve's inaugural guests. With a list of jobs still to do, could they have taken on a bit too much? La Manga is a 13-mile strip of land in southern Spain that divides the Mediterranean Sea in two. On the one side is a calm saltwater lagoon, the largest in Europe. On the other is the Med, open to the elements and where the winds make it a magnet for water sports enthusiasts. But below the surface, there is another magical world to explore. The warm azure waters are a haven for sea life, and divers come from far and wide to swim in the crystal clear waters of this natural lagoon. Divers like Ed Smith and his partner Joe Golder.
That was a beautiful dive. Big schools of bream all around where the dams were. That was lovely. Cuttlefish at the beginning. Lovely cuttlefish at the beginning as well. Fantastic. Oh, it was so cool. Really nice.
But Joe and Ed are not here on holiday. They love the area so much, they've recently moved here from Milton Keynes to set up a dive school.
My parents had a holiday home not far from here, actually. So when I used to come to stay with them, or when I was living in Spain and I'd come and stay with them, I'd come and dive here. So it was always in the back of my mind that this place, Cabo de Palos and La Manga, is a great place to come and scuba dive. So I said to Joe, let's go out and have a look. So we came out and we went diving, and Joe said, yeah, it looks great, let's look at it and let's go for it.
I didn't take much persuading.
No.
Ed used to sell stationery and Joe worked in recruitment. But now they're going to try to turn their passion into their profession.
I think the outdoor lifestyle is a massive thing. It was a big selling point for why we wanted to come out of the office.
Our commute is walking along the beach to get to the dive centre.
Just being able to spend more of our time, not just together, but outside. None of us have never been very good at staying in and being in front of a computer screen.
Ed and Joe have taken over a rundown shop that frankly was a bit of a dive.
I forget how bad it actually looked. It was a nightmare. The ceiling had come down in this part. There was a leak. One of the second times we came in, there was about 2 inches of water across the whole of the floor. Plaster had come off the walls. But yeah, looking at these photos, you forget how bad it actually was.
Yeah, worse than I remember, actually.
Since moving here in March, they've been working round the clock to try and bring it up to scratch.
So this is the first bit. This was a huge open plan room. There was none of these walls here. These walls were some of the first things to go up. And this is where we're going to be hanging some kit so students or customers can look at all the things that we're selling, some scuba diving stuff. Then we put these bench seats. People sit down and they chat and they fill in their books. This is our reception area, booking in counter. Yeah, lots to do, lots going on. We're going to offer everything to everybody.
Oh, you fell over the wood then. Dangerous, this building site we have.
It is, isn't it?
It's May. The holiday season is fast approaching and it's vital the shop is ready to open.
My exercise done for the day.
Today's job is tiling their rinse tank, the area where equipment and wetsuits are washed down.
Oh, you did it without me.
I did.
Oh.
I can do some things without you.
You can't do anything without me.
Do you want to put a little bit more splodge underneath that, actually?
See, that's why you shouldn't do it without me. Because you do it now.
Working together for us is really nice because we get to spend a lot of time together. Because normally, like Joe, will been at work for 8 or 9 hours a day, and now we get to spend time not just working together, but we get to go diving together as well for fun sometimes, don't we? Which is quite nice.
Yeah.
The couple have invested €80,000 into their dream, so they can't afford any delays.
We've budgeted for a certain amount of expenditure. You know, the apartment that we live in, the food that we eat, the fuel that we put in the car, the rent that we pay on the business premises. It's going to reach a point where it needs to be subsidised by income from the business.
There isn't an endless pot of savings. We put it all into setting up the business. But yeah, if we don't get the customers, that's it for us, really.
The hot, arid mountains of southern Spain, now home to 2 expats embarking on a brand new adventure.
Missed you last night. Oh, Nigel, it's beautiful.
But though Jane is here, partner Nigel is still stuck in the UK, trying to sort out an issue with their house sale.
It's odd being here without him because this is our dream. We've been thinking about this for about 2 years or so now, and we've been planning it and plotting it. We weren't going to come till a bit later, maybe a year, 2 years, but when we found this house, we thought, no, we've got to come now.
Ex-teacher Jane has never run a B&B before.
I've got to keep this standard. It's a high standard. Worried.
Luckily, current owner Anita has offered to give her a crash course. Lesson 1, breakfast.
When you have Spanish guests, they don't want to have breakfast like us.
Yes.
Like eggs and something, cheese and something. You want to have this.
Okay.
This with coffee, they put them in the coffee, and that's it.
I'd be this in a hot chocolate.
That's also.
Jane has 10 days to learn the ropes.
I'm sorry.
I've done too many. Oh, I'm going to get
because
oh, these are different cheeses.
This is
I thought it was the same. Sorry, Anita.
But there's another problem.
We haven't done the tables yet, no?
Normally, you're 1 hour before incoming.
Yes.
And now some guests are down, ready for breakfast.
Sorry, we're a bit late this morning.
Of course.
OK, breakfast is ready now. Would you like to help yourselves?
Next, it's a lesson in waitressing.
Would you like tea or coffee or...?
Oh, well, I'd love to have a cup of coffee with milk and sugar, please.
Cup of coffee, milk and sugar?
Coffee, please.
But Anita's got a great labour-saving trick.
And put some milk and sugar on the table.
And they can help themselves, yeah.
So, they can help themselves, because when there's 10 or 12 people, you can't
remember
it.
Yeah.
And you make a mistake.
All right, OK.
So they can do it by their own.
There's lots to take in, but Jane is proving a conscientious student.
There you go.
Okay.
One very ultra-strong coffee. Enjoy your breakfast. We'll leave you in peace.
She did a great job. Come on.
And with breakfast over, it's time to move on to another key part of any B&B.
Feel like Cinderella.
Making beds.
Oh, where's the hole, Anita? Go on now, there's got to be a hole somewhere.
There's a hole.
Ah, there's a... No, right, I've got the... Right, OK.
And standards are high.
No, you look this way.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's hospital corners. Like this.
Yeah. And very straight. I like it.
Marks out of 10.
This one?
Yes.
11.
With today's lessons over, it's time for Anita's verdict.
The rating of the breakfast, I don't think it was very brilliant. I think it was a 7, because the guests were already sitting there and waiting for the breakfast and waiting for the coffee. That's what I said. You have to arrange it before they are coming. But, oh no, I'm not like a boss. She must do it on her own.
We want to continue the service because I think what they do is the sort of place that Nigel and I would want to come and stay. I think Anita might give me a certificate at the end of the week to say I've passed the Anita School of Bed and Breakfasts, which would be great.
Anita's lessons will continue tomorrow. Meanwhile, there's some news from Nigel.
Hiya, Nigel. Hola. Oh, good. OK. So we should be able to complete today, then?
Finally, their house sale has gone through.
Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye. We had a couple of issues on Friday with the electrics and the central heating. The electrics were sorted on Saturday and the boiler's been checked today. Means he's in the truck now, as I speak, on his way. And I'm just so glad.
Back in the UK, Nigel has a long journey ahead of him.
The hardest part for us both was leaving family and friends, but I'm sure they're not going to be strangers, and they'll be out at every opportunity.
In 4 days, Anita and Dirk will be leaving Spain for good, and Jane and Nigel will be on their own. Then the hard work will really begin. In La Manga, 100 kilometres south of Alicante, work is continuing at Joe and Ed's new dive shop.
Today is a lovely day. Sun is shining again, as always.
Over the past week, they've made great strides.
We finished off our ceiling. We finished off the boarding out. We've got some nice lights up there now. We finished our wash tank out the back here, all the plumbing, so that's all done. And this is one of the wet areas where people wash equipment. We finished that off. We've got some nice orange shower curtains so people can shower in style. And then the outside area, we've concreted the floor. That looks great.
But it's not all good news. The machine they've shipped over to fill their air tanks doesn't meet Spanish safety standards, and it's a costly mistake that could scupper their launch.
So our compressor doesn't have this CE certification stamp, which means it's not legal to use this compressor in Spain. So we've just spent the best part of €4,000 shipping over a compressor that we can't use. We're running low on funds now. Obviously, it's getting close to opening. We need to be able to have something like this installed. But until we get one, we can't have it installed. We can't have it installed. We don't have any air. If we don't have any air, we can't fill our tanks. We can't go diving. So, yeah, it's a big issue at the moment.
Joe and Ed are trying to put the compressor to the back of their minds and focus on the rest of the dive shop.
Do you need an extra pair of hands?
And today, their window stickers have arrived.
It's quite a big day for us to finally have it advertised and looking like a proper dive shop. So yeah, really excited.
Looking fantastic, isn't it? Really pleased with how that's coming along. Looks lovely. It's going to look fantastic when it's finished. I mean, it looks great now and it's halfway through, so yeah, very pleased, very pleased. When I first drew the designs out, it's kind of like half the size of what it is now, but I'm so glad it's bigger, it's so much better, really impactful.
The locals, you can see, are showing a bit of interest now. So now we've got all the stickers up, well, partially up, and already they're showing a bit of interest and having a look in and seeing what's going on, which is great. Hopefully they'll spread the word as well.
With the shop slowly taking shape, Joe and Ed need to start thinking about the excursions they will offer.
Right, today then, we're taking the boat out and we are heading to an island called the Farallon Islands. So we're kind of here at the bottom end of the La Manga Strip, and there's a couple of islands at the top here which are really nice for diving. They get a lot of water flow, so loads of life, loads of big schools of fish, loads of stuff to see.
Joe and Ed have dived this site many times, but want a second opinion on whether it will be good for tourists. So their friend Manu has volunteered to be a guinea pig.
OK, go on then. Right, we'll see how we get on with this wind then.
But it's not long before there's a problem.
It's weird.
It's only firing on 3 or 4 cylinders.
Instead of
6. Just no power. It's running okay, and then it'll start to flutter a little bit. Like that. There you go, that wasn't me.
And then it stops.
Joe and Ed invested €10,000 in this boat.
We'll just take it out, get some speed up, and then we might have to come back in.
Another big bill is the last thing that they need. In southwest France, it's a busy day for Vineyard owners Steve and Rob. They're expecting their first guests at their newly renovated gîtes, 24 hours earlier than they originally anticipated.
Bit of a late finish last night, bit of an early start, but I think we've got a bit of a hefty workload, haven't we? I'm going to go and paint the stairs again. I don't know what you're doing. You better get on.
I'm going to make rooms look beautiful.
With a mountain of jobs to tackle and just 8 hours to prepare the gîtes, they can't afford any more hiccups.
Suddenly we've got no heated towel rail in Gîte 2, but all the electrics are on, so I don't know what's happening. Strange.
3 of the gîtes have problems with the power. Rob and Steve need an electrician fast.
Gîte 4, there's no electric.
Gîte 4, the prise with the TV, and on the one wall, nothing.
You'll be here this morning, yes?
But it's not fast enough for Steve.
Our clients are arriving. Hurry up. This is not something for the faint-hearted to do, and it has pushed us to our limits at times.
I'm going to carry on painting. Hopefully he will be here and the problem will be solved quickly.
If the problem can't be fixed, this could be a disaster for their new career as gîte hosts.
If you think I'm clean, to then go and clean up after a tradesman, you could think again.
It's the wrong day to be in business. Steve is not taking stress well today.
We can't let customers stay here if the heating doesn't work. If it doesn't work in a normal hotel standard and you can't get it working, you would have to find them alternative accommodation.
Whoever said buying a vineyard and turning the old farmhouse into 4 gîtes was a good idea? Me and my bright ideas.
It's 10:30. The electrician has arrived.
You're not leaving here until everything is checked. Are you okay?
Oui, ça fonctionne.
With 5 hours to go before the guests arrive, it's going down to the wire.
Did you want a coffee?
I've not had time to stop.
Okay. So much better with the door shut.
Thankfully, most of the issues are due to loose wiring.
We're just staying to the last one by the looks of it. We lost 2 lots of sockets in the one gîte, and Stephen lost probably about 10 years off his life through stress.
I feel like I'm having a heart attack.
If the blood pressure doesn't kill him, I might.
Electrical problems solved, but with guests imminent, there's still a stack of cleaning to do and a shower door to fit in one of the en-suites.
This is the bit that's annoying. No dripping, we're all right.
I'm expecting them to turn up any second, and I've got bathrooms to clean, curtains to put up. No, they're here. Oh no!
The guests are early and the gîtes are nowhere near ready. Rob needs to turn on the charm.
A few hours early, that's not a problem. We'll survive.
Luckily, there is one thing Rob and Steve aren't short of. That's wine.
Welcome to Clos du Rocher, our very first guest.
Thank you. Yes, it's fabulous.
Rob's bought some time. But how long can they hold off their guests before they start to lose their patience?
Tomorrow was the perfect arrival. That pulling it forward has really kind of tested us today.
On the Med, off the coast of La Manga,
It's done it again.
What, still?
Yeah.
dive school owners Ed Smith and Joe Golder are still trying to work out what's wrong with their new boat.
Well, it was fine yesterday and the day before, and all of a sudden, those little gremlins that you hear so much about.
It doesn't like going slow at the moment, does it?
No.
If Ed can't get the engine going, they will have to cancel the dive site exploration trip.
Not firing all cylinders?
No, quite literally. We'll see how we are at the end of the canal, and then if it's still not right, we'll have to come back in.
But as they reach the open waters of the Med,
There we go, we're running fine now.
the engine bursts back to life and the trip is on again.
Seems fine. It's one of those little gremlins.
Joe is diving with friend Manu on the reefs beside two little islands just off La Manga.
So you guys happy? You know what the plan really is. So we're just going to jump down here. You've got all your nice things to see. You've got a nice plateau with the sand on the rocks. Either side of it is where you're going to have the massive schools of fish.
Though Ed is an experienced instructor, Joe's only just passed her exams, so this is great practice.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Cool. See you later. So this dive site is a reef system. Drops to about 25 metres, and then we get some real nice currents coming through, bringing in some larger fish, some barracudas, and lots of sardines as well, but there's big schools of them just swimming around you. So really, really nice dive sites. So having Manu here, we know that, okay, the boat works like this, the shop works like that. We can make some tweaks even before we're embarrassing ourselves too much in front of new customers. So he's a handy man to have around.
45 minutes later, the dive is over. Ed is keen to know if the site is good enough to bring paying customers.
Nice dive then. Thank you.
Yeah, it was wicked.
Brilliant. Cracking site, isn't it? It is lovely.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, fantastic. Lots of wildlife. We came up and did a safety stop, and there were just a big school of barracudas. About 60 of them, you say, Joe?
Yeah. And they all just came.
Yeah. Wish I was there.
Aww.
So that's a thumbs up for this dive site. But as the team head home, the boat starts to play up again.
They just cut out.
Just cut out.
Ed seeks advice from the marina manager.
It's See?
And his diagnosis isn't good.
So there could be some contamination in the fuel, so a bit of water in the fuel line. But he said it also could be the injectors. It might mean new injectors, or it might just mean a bit of a clean, who knows. It is very annoying that there appears to be some sort of intermittent problem with the boat. It's got to be sorted, whatever it is.
Repairing the boat could be costly, and they still haven't found a compressor to fill up their air tanks. With the grand opening of their dive centre less than 2 weeks away, will they manage to stay afloat? In Barbaroja, southern Spain, it's a big day for trainee B&B host Jane DeLonga.
I can't believe Nigel's coming today. You know, last time I saw him was Sunday and today's Thursday. It's the longest we've ever been apart. I've spoken to him lots on the phone, but it's not the same as, I just can't wait to give him a big hug. That's it.
Her partner Nigel has had a gruelling 4-day journey from Merseyside to Alicante province.
Hi, Nigel. Hiya, where are you now, lovely? Well, it can't be that far, really, now, because Novelda was it about half an hour, I think, from here?
Having been delayed for 24 hours due to complications with the house sale, Nigel is hoping to make up for lost time.
I think Dirk and Anita have been teaching her well. They're a lovely couple. I hope she knows how to make beds and the breakfast, because basically that's what we're doing. That's all we've got to sell now is beds and breakfasts.
Busy few days, happy few days, but I want to share the happiness with him. We need to be together. This is our dream. Does that sound like a truck? Oh, no, I think it might be an aeroplane. I can hear him now. That's not a plane, that's definitely a truck.
Four days apart, with an overload of new information, has finally taken its toll on Jane.
Maybe t-shirt wet. See? Told you I'd get it here. See, exactly what we bought it for was this, and the feeling's just the same as it was before. It's stunning. What can you not like about the view? Such a relief to get down here. Everything in one piece, fingers crossed.
Da, 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 da.
All our worldly goods. Literally.
Now there's just the small matter of unpacking the truck in the 40-degree heat. It's the next day, and Jane and Nigel have just several days left under the wings of the current owners, and still a lot to learn. For Jane, today is all about sourcing local produce.
So here, does he cut it especially for you then? So he's cutting the cheese there, yeah?
He does everything. It's very good.
And in rural Spain, a firm grasp on the language is essential.
200 gram jamón. Hey, 200 gram jamón. Jamón. Ah,
yeah. Jane and Nigel's new B&B is completely off-grid, meaning they need to generate their own power. So Nigel needs a lesson in how it all works.
Nigel, this is our sun tracking system.
Yes.
Follows the sun, 10 panels with divided in 3 sections.
Yes.
But they give a lot of energy.
It's completely different to what we'd expect at home. The fact that we're generating our own electricity and not relying on the electricity company, we're completely off grid. Although we've got the generator, it is going to take a bit of getting used to. In the fact that we can't just flick everything on like you do at home and expect it to work.
And the house is so isolated, they're also not linked to the mains water supply. Instead, the property gets a delivery by tanker.
Look, it's 10,000 litre. Normally, when it's coming in the water, it's a little bit dust, but it sinks and it's no problem.
The fact that we recycle 80% of our water usage and we can use it on the gardens, it's a good setup that they've achieved here.
Anita and Dirk have laid the foundations for a successful business in a remote location. Now Nigel and Jane can start to make their own mark.
Do you like my couch? Oh, yeah.
It's okay, it's green. It's green.
Anita and Dirk will leave tomorrow. Then it will be time for Nigel and Jane to put everything they've learnt into practice.
I think we'd be sat out here every evening, looking at the view.
Do you think so?
And thinking we've done the right thing. And we're starting our new life in the sun.
Kilometres away in France.
Hey there.
Rob and Steve's first ever guests still haven't checked in, but their surroundings are making it a pleasant wait.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's a little piece of paradise. It's nice to be out of the city and into the country, but real country.
The 6 Australian friends have arrived a day earlier than expected, and Rob and Steve's ambitious plan to be ready in time has backfired.
I'm really sorry we're not ready. No, it's not. We've had a few issues with the electrics. It's basically, I need about half an hour more.
Fortunately, the guests are in no hurry and decide to nip to the shops and let their hosts finish the rooms.
If we're not ready in half an hour, now they've gone, that'll be even worse.
It's 30-minute makeover time for Rob and Steve, with bathrooms to finish, curtains to go up. Not to mention a mountain of luggage to shift.
It's really heavy.
Today has been absolutely gorgeous. I've enjoyed every moment of it, and I'd love to do it again.
Yeah. But failure was never an option for this couple, and with seconds to spare...
Finished. Everything. Beautiful.
Through the winter, Rob and Steve have transformed the rundown farmhouse into 4 contemporary self-catering apartments. The final piece of their dream life is now in place. And as their guests arrive back, it's time to celebrate.
Cheers.
Nice to have them properly christened.
The Jeets are lovely. They've got everything you need. It's all self-contained. That's wonderful.
It's paradise. The boys are so hospitable and warm, and we've been looked after beautifully, and this is a really beautiful place to stay.
It's the next morning. Calm has been restored.
I'm always chilled and relaxed and, you know, every day's an adventure for me when I get up.
But they can't put their feet up just yet. They have breakfast to prepare.
Some homemade jam, warm rolls and croissants and pain au raisin. Good morning. Welcome.
And their guests seem to be happy.
They couldn't have said anything more positive, which is really nice.
Wonderful sleep.
Excellent.
Really, really lovely.
Enjoy your breakfast. You can't help but feel proud and think, well, we've achieved, you know, we've done what we set out to do.
Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome.
We can give good service, but it's whether enough people walk through the door, pop down for a glass of wine, stay a night to make ends meet. That's the only worry.
With the Jeets up and running, they can turn their attention back to their vineyard, and nature has dealt a cruel blow.
It's really knocked them for 6, isn't it?
A late frost has swept through the Bordeaux region. The consequences could be devastating for the vines.
This one's really taken all the growth that we've been getting this last few weeks that have really kind of brought the vines to a great stage, and it's wiped it out really. These rather delicate flower heads that become the bunches of grapes once they start to change are now been frozen, so they're dead.
This will undoubtedly have an enormous impact on production.
The quantity is going to be really devastated. It could be kind of 80% down. But we'll get through it. We'll come out the other end and we'll fight on. Nature has its way of kind of recovering, so let's just keep everything crossed and
we'll give it every helping hand we can.
We will.
Come on.
Next time, Joe and Ed finally open for business.
Today's been a real reminder of why we've come here, to take people diving and have smiley faces in the shop.
Rob and Steve.
Toilet rolls, towels, everything sparkly, check.
Welcome their first French guests.
They don't speak English. I know it. I can't speak French tonight. My head's addled.
And will Jane...
That's the bread.
...fall at the first hurdle?
I have to wake them up. I hope the guests not have to do that. Hello, breakfast.